Welcome back to the show. Many people ask themselves, where can I go to find sustainable products, eco-friendly products? You know, find a company that really sources and curates products that I have an understanding that they're coming from reliable sources. Well, terra20 is one of those great companies, and I'm joined by one of its co-founders, Bill Stewart. Bill, welcome to the show. Wonderful to have you here. Bill, so walk me back to the beginnings of this. You know, you must have been inspired by something. What was the idea behind terra20?
Well, you know, I was approached by a close personal friend of mine, Steve Kaminsky, who was lamenting to me of the challenges associated to incorporating eco-friendly elements into his new home build. And as a result, he approached me about an opportunity in doing research into solar, wind, and geothermal.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I'm the wrong guy. And when I went back to tell him that, because I knew nothing about this, Derek, if being completely honest with you, and I went back to him, I avoided his email and phone calls for about 2 weeks, and I went back to him and told him, you got the wrong guy. And he said, well, that's exactly why I think you're the right guy. And he says, because I think you'll approach it in a different way. And so from that point, I went and did the research, and about 90 days in, throughout my research, realized that as much as there was a soaring growth in these areas, that when the government subsidies run out, the business might have some issues. But what was interesting in the research was I uncovered this growing demand for healthier, more sustainable products. But the void in the marketplace was the mainstream consumers were going into retailers that knew very little about these products, and in many cases were on the bottom shelf. And quite frankly, some of the products you see behind me here today in the store would never make it to the top shelf in some of these retailers. So this is where we found a void. And I think you made an earlier comment about the selection was limited. Well, I know you've been in our Pinecrest store, Derek, so you know there is a massive selection of products that are available. It's certainly one of the myths in this space.
Yeah, well, let's talk about some of those other myths. As you said, you know, limited amount of, and I think affordability is another one. What are some of the other things that, you know, in your research that you found that you're able to break some of those myths for us, Bill?
Well, first off, as you can see behind me, selection, right? There's over 25,000 products represented in this store. There's 17 different departments. We deal with over 750 brands. And really our concept was built around the choice of healthier, more sustainable lifestyle should not come at a sacrifice in quality, effectiveness, or for that reason, your pocketbook.
Right.
So innovation has evolved over the years, and eco-friendly products have become far more prevalent in today's society, and as a result, far more cost-effective in line with traditional products. Our broad selection satisfies all budgets. We provide the largest selection under one roof, represented in many categories, as I've stated. And really, you know, we've built it around the 9 ethics, and we allow consumers to align those values with our ethics, and that represents a healthier lifestyle. So examples would be our Made in Canada ethic as an example, one of our most popular ethics. They look for products that are made in Canada. Right. There's also the beaker, which means there's less toxins in the products themselves. And of course, the little rabbit we have are for those customers that are actually vegan, and they want to look for products that satisfy their vegan needs.
Oftentimes there during this video, this footage that I'm seeing here, the Ecobar comes up quite often. Tell me the idea behind that, Bill.
Sure. So the concept was really born to address the cost concerns in the market, Derek. So, you know, we're reminded every day in the news about the growing inflation rates and the soaring housing pricing. The Ecobar addresses this by being the lowest cost provider in Canada on healthy cleaning of personal care products. And the basic functionality behind it is you simply buy this product here, which is the Ecobar product.
Right.
You use the solution, and then you come back in and fill it up. And what's really great about the Ecobar, in the last week, we've now recently launched what we call BYOC, which is Bring Your Own Container. And this initiative addresses the growing concerns of plastics in our world, and it provides an alternative to use those containers you would normally put in your blue bin, and they find their way into landfill. The recycle has become the norm for the first defense for managing dependency on plastic, but BYOC now provides an alternative to landfill, that bottle ending up in landfill, and the ability to reuse that bottle over and over again. And the basic concept behind it, Derek, is that you simply bring your container in, we do a tear weight on the container, we fill the container, we weigh it, you pay it, and then you're on your way.
Simple as that. Before we run out of time, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, plans for terra20. I understand you have a franchise program, Bill.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we're a very customer-centric retailer, as I know you know that, Derek, because you frequent the store. And, you know, information from our customers is very important, and that connection is very important. One of the constant feedbacks from our base is obviously trust, confidence, and convenience. And we recognized in early stages in our Pinecrest development that we were not convenient to a lot of Ottawans. So as a result, in 2018, we began building a franchise model. Since then, we opened up 3 franchise locations here in Ottawa, 1 in Hintonburg, Train Yards, and Orleans. And we're actively working on additional sites in Vancouver, Toronto, as well as other parts in Canada. And we're seeking individuals who are passionate and have an interest in the space of health and sustainability. And we want to make them ambassadors within the communities they reside.
Yeah, and Bill, it looks, to me, I mean, I think it already is, but it's even going to become more so one of those great Canadian success stories. So congratulations to yourself and your partner and of course, all, the entire team there at terra20. Really appreciate your time today. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Thank you, Derek.
All right, take care. terra20.com. You want to find out more information? We'll be back talking more sustainability right after this.